Hello everyone and welcome to this series of team member presentation where I will ask some interesting questions to each member of the Trosort team. Some of those questions will be nice, some will be hard, and some will even be funny. That's what I hope, at least. For this first edition, who else could I invite than Achille, co-founder and CEO of Trosort, 26 years of age, originally from a very small town in Belgium that is called
Maison Saint-Gérard.
Maison Saint-Gérard. So one of the very few people living in Maison Saint-Gérard, a small Belgian town in Namur, but also, and more importantly, the visionary behind Trosort. The person who saw a gap in the market and was enough of a doer to bridge it. He started building the first Trosort prototype in his garage in Maison Saint-Gérard.
Exact.
And next week, he will be shipping a Trosort system to Australia. Welcome, Achille. First of all, how are you doing?
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Great to have this meeting with you. I'm eager to know what questions I'm going to be cooked at.
But yeah, let's dive right in with the first question. How was Trosort born?
So Trosort was born, the idea of Trosort 2.5 years ago, when I decided to make a shared wardrobe concept. So that means that I made people pay a subscription to access multitude of second-hand garments. So every month they could take items, put back items into it. The idea was that they would stop to need to buy new clothing, so stop polluting, stop paying a lot of money, but still have access to a lot of clothing to change their style and have fun with it. So I did that for 2 months. We reached 40 persons, and then all of them asked me to put the clothes online, so that they could browse them on a website, select them in advance. And so I started taking pictures of thousands of clothes and encoding by hand. This is a jeans, it's that size, that brand, and it was unscalable. I had a full-time job on the side at that moment, so I thought, okay, I can now look into a software system to recognize and encode for me the characteristics of the pieces based on images. And I'm a mechanical engineer, so I even thought, okay, let's also automate the process of taking pictures. And that's basically how the first idea of our system came alive.
Okay, interesting. That was the beginning, the start of Trosort. Since then, the company and the problem we solve has changed a lot.
Yeah.
How would you say the specific problem Trosort is solving evolved over time?
So yeah, at first it was really to digitize second-hand at scale. So being able to provide an offer, an online offer of second-hand that is bigger than what we are able to do now, just fully manually. So the goal was to scale just second-hand offer and put it a bit more on a pedestal to reach the level of first-hand fashion in terms of quality of the pack shots, quality of the online listings. And then I visited the sorting centers, textile sorting centers, and I quickly realized that they would maybe need that technology more than me, mostly because all of the processes are manual, but they are not digitized, so they have a hard time recuperating data about what happens over there. So I directly thought, okay, there may be something to do to provide them with the technology. So I contacted the sorting center. It was interested, so he tested the first machine that I built. It told me basically that it was too slow, that he didn't use hangers logistics, so that was unuseful, that it needed to go faster, be more precise, etc. And so we iterated based on that, but then mostly we really saw that the biggest problem is that the multiple step sorting is killing efficiency, while we could regroup that both sorting for reuse, repair, and recycling into one single step. That could be a big improvement.
Okay, interesting. What is Trosort's mission and vision right now?
Right now, Trosort's mission is to provide the right technology to the actors of the circular textile market so that they can scale their operations, be more efficient, and have a better traceability. And the long-term vision that we have is to enable the textile sorting market to be really more a closed loop, and to eventually stop the textile landfills in the global south.
Okay. And where do you want Trosort to be in 5 years, let's say?
In 5 years, we want to be international in most big countries in the world with our textile machinery sorting every day. We want to be at scale, so have at least 300 systems installed in textile sorting facilities.
Some nice goals.
Yeah, definitely. That's the ambition.
What's the most, continuing on goals, what's the most unrealistic goal you have for Trosort? Maybe the Trosort dream for you?
Yeah, that would be to have an in-depth knowledge of all the pricing on all markets in the world, so that we could really make reuse the most profitable choice every time, and even being able to say this will sell or not in a certain specific market. And that would also be in the goal of avoiding sending things in countries where they don't have the facilities to treat correctly the garments that are not reused. So basically that would require to have a lot of data that comes back not only from the sorting centers, but from the last resellers of the clothes into the local markets, to be able to know what is sold at what price, in how many days it's sold. That's I think the big goal that is hard to reach.
Okay, very interesting. Earlier on, we talked about sorting centers, and that's how the mission of Trosort shifted from being just a digital player and a software player to mixing both hardware and software. How many textile sorting centers have you already visited, and what are the biggest takeaways from those visits?
I think we visited now a big dozen of textile sorting centers in France, Germany, Netherlands, UK, and Belgium, of course. And yeah, we also saw from videos around the world, Lithuania, Australia, US, how it's done. The thing that I really see is that every textile sorting center is different. They all have their specific processes today. They all manage in some way to have a process that works for them and makes money. That's what struck me, is that people in this market, they are really self-made people, and they found a way to make it work. And yeah, that's really what strikes me.
Are there better and worse ways, in your opinion?
Depends what you mean by better and worse. There are environmentally more conscious processes. They are economically more efficient processes. Depends really also on the market you are in, which clients you were able to reach and retain. So better and worse depends also in the context. You have social economy, textile sorting centers where they help people that have been away from the work market for some time. So it's also more complex to deal in terms of management of people. And so you cannot ask of them as much as you can ask from someone that has been always regularly in the working market in terms of efficiency. So yeah, that depends into a lot of factors. I think everybody has his priorities, his goals. So no worse and better, but of course more impressive ones for economic reasons, more impressive ones for sustainability reasons. You can be very small and be super into circularity, repairing everything that you can, finding ways to upcycle things, or you can be super huge and disregard those points.
It's interesting because I was smiling because that was my following question. So it's clear you have seen a lot of sorting centers, and my question was, what has impressed you the most during one of those visits or videos you saw? And also what has surprised you the most, but maybe in a negative way, yeah, I don't know if that's understandable.
What impressed me the most, those were the big ones that treat hundreds of tons per day, sorry. Those are quite impressive infrastructures. I'm an engineer, so I kind of like big machineries, but in a sense where it's not great. What I saw is, of course, things that are not sorted because you don't have the number of people, the time, or the economical system to be able to sort everything. So you just send unsorted garments per bale of tons in a country where it will be resorted, but you know that eventually in the end all the goods will not end in the reuse market and they don't have the facility to treat them. So yeah, that's kind of the bad side of it. This has been done for a long time. Now we have European laws that are coming so that you will normally be enforced to prove that you sorted all the goods that you sell abroad to prevent that. I think it was another time, it was another market. Now we are changing things. I think it's a good change. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. We do sales, a lot of sales together, for those who don't know. And every time we are in a call or meeting and we speak with a partner or a potential prospect, there is something that comes up a lot, and that's the fact that the textile industry is in a crisis. Could you explain what's happening and what's maybe the problem, or what are the problems, and also maybe explore some solutions for those problems, in your opinion?
First problem that comes on is the in-feed of the market with bad quality textiles compared to what they had for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years for those who has family business that is there from a long time ago. Quality of the textile decreasing because of fast fashion, selling a way more lot clothes than others, people over consuming, of course, but also the fact that now there is competition with the resale platforms like Vinted, eBay, Depop and others that enables you to sell your goods. So basically there was a trend in the second hand. Second hand is trendy now, so people realize that, they realize their clothes still have value, so instead of the donation bin or the means, they choose to try to sell themselves, but that's not the case of everybody. So yeah, that's the decrease in quality of the goods that comes in, and also the fact that the recycling market is completely blocked. That's something that comes up very quickly with the potential customers. There is not enough débouché for recycling materials, at least at industrial scale level. You have the old one that's have already been there, always been there, sorry, like the cloth for 100% cotton. And now we see more technology coming up to being able to recycle more types of material, but behind you need to be able to sell those to have an economical loop that works. So yeah, I would say that those are the two biggest problems that have come. And of course, the fact that then there is more and more goods on the market, so reselling a bale unsorted has become a very cheap product, which at least had value before. And so today, just the collection itself isn't worth it if you don't sort anymore.
Interesting. Concerning the recycling, that is a bit blocked, do you think it's the technology that isn't mature enough and that should become better, more efficient, so the cost of recycled fibers go down? Or is it the legislation that should obligate big producers to incorporate more recycled fibers into their production?
For me, it's really a problem of demand, not that much of technology, of course, because with scale you get to the right costs. Of course, today some of recycled material are still more expensive than non-recycled ones. That's a green premium that can be solved by scaling. For me, the big problem is the demand. So, for example, legislation mandating fashion companies and producers to get a percentage of recycled material into all their goods would be a nice solution to unlock that market. Definitely, but any other type of innovation of markets, business innovation with recycled materials. We saw, of course, insulation with textiles for the textiles. I saw even a startup doing blocks for constructions. But the problem is to scale those businesses and make sure that there is a real demand behind those goods, so we can have a constant feeding of those products.
Okay, interesting. You didn't talk about solutions, or did you?
On the recycling part.
No, so for you the biggest problem was still, or the two big problems are
Overconsumption,
recycling and the fact that the goods are not
Yeah.
of bad quality,
Yeah.
the in-feed.
Yeah, solution for that, it's mainly, I believe, social engineering. It's about making secondhand or making buying a lot of new clothes not trendy anymore.
Yeah.
Like shaming people that do that, but that's not okay to shame people. But I mean, making it not the dream of everybody. It's for me, it's really the biggest point that we can act on, because stories are super powerful. I think it's like in the 1950s. If you asked people who helped the most to win the war, World War II, people said the eastern part. While after the treaties with the USA to kind of the banks could repay all the infrastructures in Europe to rebuild everything that has been destroyed. They also included contracts that the movies, the cinema, for example, in the Europe had to post at least a certain amount of American films.
Yeah.
And that's when you had the big stories of American saviors, Rocky, all those type of things. And so you did a poll in 1970, the discourse had changed. When you asked people who helped the most in World War II, it was the USA. It's just a matter of story that you tell to people about how great things are, because people, they only think about great things, they want to feel good, they want to,
Yeah.
So I really think that it's mostly social engineering that can make a big shift in this problem, with this impact. Stop buying cheap clothing, super fast fashion that cannot last more than 3 washes or even less before going to incineration.